Hey guys, Sunstreaker Wozza here. Welcome back to our first stream of 2025. And yes, we are here as always with the most up-to-date Transformers Earth Wars news, information, whatever you like. So yes, thank you everyone for joining me again for 2025. I hope you've had a great 2024. So in this week's stream, obviously I say Space Ape Studio, but the Space Ape Studio has been shut for the last 2 weeks and is due to open on Monday. So in this week's stream, we're going to be talking a bit about what's happening behind the scenes in terms of that changeover, what it might mean for the game. We're still a bit in limbo. We're still waiting for more information to come out. But I'm going to talk about some little bits that we sort of already know, maybe, and some speculation. We're going to talk about the economy of the game again, but on a different aspect, and how they can maybe fix that, and why it's a big issue in the game. Probably a bigger issue than people actually realise, really. Um, Great, carrying on our best setups for some of the best bots in the game for new starters to sort of see how the top players in the game are setting their bots up, which combats to go and chase or weapons and which cores. We're going to be carrying that on. And we're also going to talk about this weekend's event, as always, with the newsletter and stuff. But we're talking about, is it worth competing in that event? And how it compares to past events from, similar sort of items, and why maybe that has changed. Is it fair? The usual spiel. Yeah, that's everything in today's stream. Um, just want to start off by saying that I had a few problems with the stream where people were getting an advert and it was bouncing into somewhere else. So I've monetized the stream, but I've only put one advert in the waiting lobby right at the start. So hopefully you won't get any more adverts from now onwards and you don't have to refresh the stream or whatever. Let me know if it's worked. You'll also know the starting music has changed, which been able to me to monetize it to do this. So I've had to do some bits and bobs in the stream, so I try and fix it a bit. Um, what else? So obviously took a Christmas break because mad busy at work, crazy busy. There's a bit of a weird one where it started quiet, believe it or not, the first 2 days. But I think that's because everyone didn't get paid until close to Christmas Eve. I mean, I got paid on the Monday just before Christmas. So we have a thing called a Mad Friday, where everyone finishes work. What do you do when you're not going to see your colleagues for 2 weeks? You go to the pub. And so literally everyone does that. When they finish at midday, which some people do, when they finish at 3 o'clock at some of the schools, when it's 5 o'clock, so you can imagine all day, just people going out for drinks and food. So it's a mad day for us normally, but it's a bit quiet. But then Monday, we got hit. So it was a quiet start and then got absolutely hammered. But yeah, it's always good. Glad it's over though. And get back to normality, obviously streaming and playing the game as usual. What else happened? I did mention that I was going to Jimmy Carr, which is really good. I probably can't even say any of the jokes that he said. It's ridiculous, really. Honestly, like it's crazy how he gets away with it. I mean, it's a live show, so you can see what he wants. But it was really, really good. I was still quite ill even then. Obviously took my father because my mother, because my wife had broke her leg, dislocated her ankle, which we talked about last stream as well. So I went with my dad instead, which was it was okay, but because I was ill, I didn't want to drink, so I drove instead. So it was okay, but normally I'd go there and have a few drinks afterwards, enjoying it. But yeah, because I was still ill, I didn't really enjoy it as much as I could have done, I think. Obviously, Jacob had a football break. Had one tournament over the whole 3 weeks, so he's took a break. Got Call of Duty for Christmas, so he's just been playing COD, a bit like his dad. It was quite funny because I was giving him some advice. And he sort of like looked at me to say like, "What do you know?" I was like, "Listen, there's one thing I know. Well, two things I know. It's Earth Wars and it's COD. Don't argue with your dad." So that and then obviously the other thing is obviously my wife obviously recovering from her ankle and leg injury. So she had a soft cast on it or something. A couple of weeks, just got that taken off and got a hard cast, not a cask. And yeah, it's looking like it's preparing quite well. Some of the pictures are quite gruesome where the staples were and things like that. But yeah, glad she's recovering. And as you can tell, I'm almost there. I can't believe, honestly, I'm quite confident it was COVID because I got this. If you remember, It was middle of November because I was due to stream, and I said, "Listen, guys, the test server's not working properly. I've got a bit of a, I feel a bit ill or something. I can't remember, a bit of a cough, I think it was." I said, "I'm not going to stream this week." And Tony said that right then. I was about 80%. I was like, I probably can stream a bit, but with the test server, I just don't feel up to it. And then the week, and then from then on, it went downhill. And I got ill very, very quickly. And I'm hardly ever off work. I was off work ill. Came back. I'd missed 2 weeks streaming. Came back, felt about 50% what I should be. But I thought, I can't miss another stream. Remember, I was coughing and spluttering. And then I got ill again. I got the same thing again. I was like coughing, sore throat, tight chest, couldn't breathe. And to be honest with you, like all the sort of flu symptoms and everything's gone, but I'm even still tight chested now, even to this day. And that's like 2 months ago now, which is mad crazy. It's lasted this long. But you can probably tell now that I'm talking, I'm sort of stopping for breath every now and again because I'm running out of breath, which is not like me. So yeah, it's been a mad couple of months, like I said. But yeah, I'm glad that we're getting past the illness, past my wife's sort of injury, past Christmas. Just a mad time of year for me anyway, and back to a bit of normality this year. So looking forward to 2025. Going to be a really interesting year. We'll talk a bit about it later, about the changes it's going to come from. The hardest thing is going to say that I'm going to say is, I keep saying the apes and space ape, but that's not going to be the case anymore. So what do we call them? Well, we'll find out when we find out what studio they're going to, but do we then call them something else? It's really weird, isn't it, not calling them the apes? I mean, what do we call them then? Bizarre. But we're going to talk a bit about that shortly. But first, let's see who we've got in the chat for our first stream of 2025. So we've got Blade19. Happy New Year to you. I'll say Happy New Year to everyone, because I'm sure plenty of people in the chat are going, Happy New Year, Wozza. So Happy New Year, everyone. I hope you have a great New Year. We've got Andrew Stevens, sir. We've got William Wilkins, sir. We've got Supreme Rules, Ricky Lau. We've got Mr. Steeler, LJ Gav. We've got Vixen. We've got my friend Shani as well. Good to see you, buddy. Obviously, my brother Grind Time. Always good to see you as well. We've got Jason Rowley. We've got Carnage Mac. Alright. We've got Stephen Gomez. And obviously, a massive shout out to my members. I did have a disgruntled comment on my YouTube where someone's like, "Oh my god, Wozza's monetizing his content. He's just like the apes." And I was like, yeah, but you know what? Like, I monetize my content because, let's be honest, why be good at something and not get paid for it? And I don't monetize it like stupidly. I'm like, I could let go, but only premium members can see my streams. And I've thought about it, things like that. I was like, you know what? No, premium members get exclusive offers, like when there's like competitions and stuff, they get put in that. But my content's pretty much available to any member. Remember that. So and then even then, that my content is still available to watch on the stream. If you don't want to get into chunks, but you got to go and watch obviously 2 hours and skip through it. And it's still available then months down the line as well. So it's always free, and it's not like I do massive, like it's 6 months now, like the apes do. It's usually within a month or two. Within a month or so. That's when the content sort of comes back out again. So I don't understand anyone doesn't monetize their content in any way, really. Why wouldn't you? But yeah. We've got Chris Harmon as well. We've got Erods. Who else have we got? We've got Micho VF1J. Good to see you as well. We've got David Lee. We've got Astrolon07. Good to see you as well. New to the stream. Looks like it's not a new watcher, so to speak, but new to the stream. So finally caught the live stream. So yeah, thanks for joining. Good to see you too. We've got my friend Trax as well. Good to see you. We've got Vic Ching. Still waiting for that Oasis concert. Counting down. I was listening to Oasis the other day. I was like, I'm so excited. Richard Ashcroft and Cast as well. Can't wait. We've got Autobot Fear. We've got... I skipped ahead. Thanks for that. We've got Aaron de Jesus Hidalgo Gamboa. I hope I've got that right. That's a long name. But yeah, hope I've got that right. Volcanica69, Spectral Hunter. I think you're quite new to the stream as well. Good to see you too. We've got Joseph Prime. We've got. Who else have we got? We've got. Who else have we got? Yeah, it's. What? Yeah. Few people just saying they got kicked out as well. Valhalla streams as well. Good to see you. I don't know what to do. I've tried monetizing it. I've tried not monetizing it. I'll just try and find something online. Someone that's experienced this. Very bizarre. Everyone take a shot. Did I say mental? Did I? Huh. I say it without even realising it now, honestly. That's a mental thing. Was in real life is mental. I wish it was. It's very boring. It's very busy and very boring. Aaron De Jesus, please don't spam the chat. I don't like muting people, but I will if you keep just. I don't understand what you are putting in the chat, but it looks very repetitive, so please don't. Yeah, I don't know why he keeps doing that. Why does he keep throwing it to another stream like the stream's ending? Very bizarre. Yeah, Volcanic 69. I don't think I think it just throws you to another video or something. It's just something you're interested in. So it might throw you to Skyrim, might throw you to something else you've been watching recently. That's not the thing. It's just that it's throwing you out of the stream. That's the weird thing that I don't get. Very bizarre. Very bizarre. But hey, carry on regardless. So Spectral Hunters put, guys, I have 3.8k frags of 5-star shards. What 5-star should I have first? I mean, there's a lot of good 5-stars in the game. It's like you've got total control over it. There's still a chance. So I always say just go for the batch which got the best bots in it. And for me, that's the current batch available. All the bots in that are good. Even Beachcomber, Blue Streak. Really, really good batch. So go for the current batch and you won't be disappointed in the bot you get. That's what I'd say. There's many bots you can go and aim for, but that's further down the line. If you're a newer player, you've got to think you need hundreds of thousands of shards to go and collect them all. And there's nothing worse for me that I went through and most other players went through of looking at a batch and going, yeah, well, there's 2 bad ones in there I don't know what to use, and there's 3 good ones. I'll take a chance and then pull in the bad one. And we've all done it. And the older the players, the more it's happened to them. And trust me, it's not. And I've done it live on stream, so and you can see my reactions. It ain't the best, and I don't wish that on anyone. And obviously, that's me not reacting as much as I maybe would because I don't want to look a total idiot on stream. But I'm still pretty fuming. So, I would go for the new batch because I don't think there's a bad one in there, and that's how the batches should be. Which batch number? Oh, is it 16 we're up to now? I mean, I'll have to look on the console because I think because I've got most of mine. But let's have a look. Yeah, 16. Yeah, 16. So you got Wild Rider and Blue Streak, Predacon Inferno, and Leo Prime. You got Deluge and Beachcomber. Lockdown and Hoffer are probably all right. That's probably the worst one, which is not bad. And then Drillhorn and Nosecone. So yeah, 4 great bots and 1 pretty good bot. So you can't go wrong really there. Yeah, Volcanicus and ones, but depends on your war squad. That's the thing. So once you start building 5-stars, you can think to yourself, "Oh, I need this particular bot." But when you're starting off, it's hard because you need bots for leveling, you need bots for events, you also need a war squad. So you try to tick all the boxes, and you can't with 1 crystal, obviously. So you need at least 8 bots for a war squad. And usually at top level, you're talking 5-stars. So you need like 20 pulls at least to get a half decent squad. A lot of 4 stars. Petrol saying, yeah. Listen, there's nothing wrong with 4 stars at the level what sort of when you're starting off. There's some really good 4 stars in the game. I've sort of gone through the past videos, some of the best 4 stars in the game, best 5 stars, best batches. I'd advise you to go and check them out. Most of them haven't really dated that much. I think it was done last year, I think. I usually do them once a year, so I'll probably do that coming around the start of the year. Looking at all the batches, all the bots, rating them, things like that. People tend to enjoy the rating videos, so we'll do that as always. But you can go and check the past ones, and very little has changed, I don't think, in most of them. And yeah, go and sort of utilize the 4 stars. And don't forget, I always say this, that if I'm sat there going, this 5 star is good, the 4 star is good, but just not as good as the 5 star. So go and use a 4 star as well. Just it depends. If you're gonna slow play the game, don't invest too much in. Don't worry about investing in. Oh, don't worry about over investing in 4 stars because you're going to use them for a long time. Where if you're going to start spending quite a bit of money, those 4 stars are going to fall away quite quickly with 5 stars that you replace them with, and you're going to need those resources to put into your 5 stars. So it depends on what you're playing the game for. There's nothing wrong with being free to play and just enjoying the game. And all credit to you, to be fair, because there's many players out there that spent thousands on this game, me included, if I'm honest. So, go and utilize 4 stars. They're still good. But it depends on what you're trying to do with the game. And how long you're going to play it for and how much you're going to spend on it. So, yeah. Is it time to rework Optimus Prime to make it more usable? They've tried reworking him twice. Broken him once. He's still usable. He's still good. I still see top players using him in wars. Pathing is so important at the top level of the game, and it's very forgiving using Optimus Prime to pull bots back in again, stop them splitting. An integral part to some squads, if I'm honest, especially with these new bases like this that's forcing you to split bots. That's the big aim. But yeah, I don't think he needs a rework. I think he needs fixing still. His SA is not totally reliable. That's the big problem. It's not his SA, it's the reliability of it. That's the problem. But it's still better than what it was as well. It's still quite good. I've not seen it fail as much. It's just it doesn't work with certain bots very well. I think it's something to do with the passives. Certain bots have certain passes, like Sensius. He really struggles with that. Slash really struggles with Slash. They don't always follow. That's the problem, and it can knock up the attack. Let me just do something in a minute. Right. I've had to put someone on timeout for spamming, so apologies. Grant says, but okay, time to mute this kid. Yeah, I have, sorry. Tracks per Lancaster, you can budget it where you can spend $1,000 or less a year, you're doing good. Wow. Stephen Gomez, have you ever done a pathing video or segment? I have. It was a while ago. I think it was something like Path Like the Pros or something it was called. It was something. If you hit me up after the stream, I'll find you a link to it because I can remember I can remember the thumbnail, but I can't remember the title. But I did. But it might be worth touching upon again. Anything else? I think that is it for the time being. I mean, Matt Superior, just missed your question, sorry. He's put, is Lightspeed any good? Jury's out. I don't think it's amazing. I don't think he's awful. I think he'd be better at lower levels. I think he can one-shot at lower levels. Depends on what level you got him at. I mean, it's test server, I think, is it? Where's Lightspeed? This is my actual account, I think. I get mixed up with the actual account. Yes, my actual account. There's no max bot, so yes, mine. Lightspeed. Yeah, doing what? 3,500 damage. 3 plus 2. Still should be 3 plus 1, I think. Still should be. But yeah, 3 plus 1, I think, should be more suitable. But 3,500 damage. So it's costing you 5,000 5 ability points to do like 7k damage. Whether that's worth it or not, 3 plus 5 is no 3 plus 5. Sorry, is 8. So 8 ability points to take out a defense is quite hefty. So it's supposed to be alright on defense, I've heard, with his G1. He's coming back, to life with 33,000 health at just level 61. Then imagine that'll be like close to 40 at max, and then you get that time slip, so like 120,000 health. Plus you put Jazzy on, which obviously replenishes health. Yeah, crazy amount of health he has in an outpost. So not too good ability wise. I mean, it's blinds, but not bad. Not bad in an outpost. It's not bad. I wouldn't say it's awful. He is a combiner bot, but he's all right. Why can't Optimus equip his shield? Oh, ask the post apes, past apes, ex apes, whatever you want to call them. Ask them. Yeah, Volcanics just put Grant and needs to do another Yo Space Ape. Yeah, we all like Grind Times videos, but yeah, nah. He's had enough. He's had enough of it. You know, people think it's easy streaming and doing videos, and then people do it and they're like, oh my god, like so much work involved in it. I'm like, I know. People don't realise, honestly, guys. There's a reason that the top YouTubers have people doing all this for them. Just remember that. Former apes they're evolving. Into what? That's the question. And leading on to that, let's look into newsletter first. Before we skip ahead, let's get into the newsletter. So this week's event is called Next Station for obvious reasons. If you didn't know, this weekend's event is for 2 of the 4-star parts for the new 4-star combiner Raiden. Now, be careful. Listen to that carefully. 2 parts out of 6. You're only getting 2 parts. A lot of people thought this event was for the 4-star. It's not. It's just for 2 parts. But it is Mayhem mode. So, we'll talk about the event and then we'll talk about what it means. So, utilizer, I think it's 50k per, 50k individual event. And we've got 2 times random 4-star Raiden or Dino King parts. It says get the rest from the shop now or wait for future events runs and ways to get them. 50 or 13. But then we got 1,500 5-star shards. That's pretty decent. 3,000 4-star shards. 5,000 3-star shards. 50 prems. Some random MK4 battle boosters. I did say that in interviews with Dale, saying why are the battle boosters MK4s behind a paywall and no one can get them, and we've not seen them. So good to see some MK4 battle boosters in there and some Kremzeeks as well. So yeah, some decent reward. You know what? As a 50k event, I don't mind that. The rewards are pretty good. Also rewards scattered throughout. You got one part which is at 25k and you've got another part of 50k. So I imagine most of the events will be around the same. There'll probably be 50k events for the next 2 parts and 50k for the next 2. Or it'll be an alliance event. It'll probably be 2 million points per an alliance. So just be prepared for that. And I imagine all of them will be Mayhem mode. And so obviously the battle zones don't apply. And so I'm just going to sort of say that in terms of Mayhem mode, I did a video on this a while back. It is very easy to get 50k free to play without spending a penny. Remember, all you have to do is, you have to do about 15,000 points per day. Now, that's 3 attacks. And that gets rid of 15, 30, 45 fuel cells. So I would normally do, 3 times a day. Sorry, ignore that. Sorry, no. All you have to do is 5 attacks 3 times a day. Sorry, that's what I meant. And so that equals 15k points. I get around 5.5k in zone 15. I think it's, yes, 15. 5 attacks in zone 15 will get you about 5k points. Zone 14 will get you close to it. It means you might have to do a couple of extra battles here and there. But yeah, I think that if you've got a decent Ruination, you've got a decent amount of ore, or you've got some Shanix to use to buy ore, I'd recommend to do that. And I'd recommend just to run Ruination and a few bots in Zone 15, 5 battles, 3 times a day, and you will hit the 50k. Trust me, you will, guys, honestly. I did it last event. It was a 70k event. The prize was at 50k, and there was extra ones for 70k. And I hit 50k early on in the third day, and I had about 10 hours left of the event, 12 hours of the event left. And I thought I could do one before bed, I could do one when I get up in the morning, and one in work. And I sort of worked that out. But sadly, I got to work and it was chaos. So I couldn't do it. But I could have done 70k free to play. So 50k free to play is possible. It is. And then game updates and information. So newsletter changes. As of January 1st, 2024, we'll be issuing newsletter on a Thursday instead, just to make sure that the information is accurate. So first thing I thought about when I thought of this is, obviously Freezius does his stream on a Wednesday. And he said he's going to have to move it to Thursday, sadly. Which means that both streams are going to overlap, which I think is quite good for him actually, because then hopefully you can watch my stream and go straight to his afterwards. But it's a bit, I get it. I mean, I used to do Wednesdays and I changed to Thursdays and changed back to Wednesdays, and now I'm stuck on Thursdays and I prefer Thursdays, I think, because the information is up to date. And I've always said that, sadly, the problem there is that Freezer's got a lot more exclusives than me because he got the information in first, but he's an up and coming streamer, so I didn't mind that. I was like, you know what, all fair play to him. I'll let him have that sort of exclusive and get those extra views in. But then some of his information was outdated because it wasn't quite correct. By the Thursday, the stream would come out and I'd sort of get exclusives from the stream and stuff, so it worked. But now, I mean, it's not going to help him in terms of exclusives because I think he's doing a stream after me. I presume he is. But then he's going to get hopefully some views from my channel into his, I hope. So I don't know. It's going to really mess up with Freeze's streams. I know that when I changed from Wednesday to Thursday, my fan base changed. I got new people in watching my streams, but I lost people because I changed days as well. So I didn't think about that. I just presumed, I thought, yeah, everyone just come over. Everyone will go from Wednesdays. We'll just go to Thursdays, but they actually didn't. So. Then they got the Raiden and Dino King 4-star part. We've obviously covered that when we covered the bots release. But it's gonna the 4-star part or ability, sorry, is gonna charge an energy orb that explodes after 10 seconds, dealing damage, increasing by a further 0.2 each time Raiden takes damage. When assigned to defense, buildings also take 50% water damage for 30 seconds when Raiden deploys. So obviously this is a bit of a counter to Ruination. With him being all powerful and and then obviously doing damage as well. So when we talked about it, it's a very good ability for on defense, very much a defense focused combiner. So if you're looking for a combiner to get you through events, this is not it. I think if you're a top player, I think it's going to be a really good combiner for in your outposts. So very much aimed at some of the top players in the game and for defense as well, which is fine. I get that not every combiner is going to be, used for leveling. Different combiners, different things. But yeah, is what it is. And then the Saga schedule is obviously going to change. It's been a bit weird because of Christmas and they extended it because of the problem behind the scenes. So it's just this week's event, and then next week the Saga is going to start again just to get it back in line with the side pass as well. And also go check out your content creators, myself, Soldier, and Freezius. And it says that the team stream is 19th of December, so we're waiting 12 months for the next stream, it seems. Or they forgot to update it, and it'd be sometimes in the middle of January normally. I think it'd be the third week of Jan probably. Whatever the third week of the schedule will be, that's usually when they stream, so they can release a new content and show it. There you go. Let's have a look. Let's see what everyone's saying. A quick drink of something. No product placement here. KP's in the chat as well. Good to see you. Um, let's have a look. Valhalla Streams, but the escapes. I like that. I like that. Tracks Pen Lancaster support. I'm not buying the 4-star parts early. Wasn't that impressed in playtesting to do that. No, no. You know what though? Because if it was like $40 or something, I'd be like, yeah, I'm going buying that. Done. I want it for defense in a few weeks. My rating will be complete in about 3 or 4 weeks. It'll be level 20. I say complete, but level 20, I think. Then I'm probably get to level 25 to be fair, maybe so, maybe not. But then I know for a fact that what they're gonna do is they're gonna put it like $100 for like 2 parts, something stupid like that. And I'll be like, no, thanks. Calvin. That's a good song as well. That's a good song. I'll give you that one. William Wilkes says, but I finally pulled 4-star Stormclosh over the weekend to form a 4-star Victorian. Sorry, bud. Oh, this is Octa's Maximus. So okay, not to get him a 4-star. I won't lose sleep. No, he's not that good. So yeah. Vic Ching, yeah, Spectral Hunters put 1.5 years away to Vic Ching's put. You missed a lot. Not a lot of bots, but a lot of content changes. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, a lot of meta changes. I think over the last 1.5 years. Yeah, with the acid and the fire, but that's at the top level of the game. I think middle level of the game, it's not changed as much maybe, but Ruination's definitely changed. What else? Tan fans put hi to the streak is my first time watching one of your streams. What's the best Decepticon combiner to use in events? God Neptune. 100%, hands down. No one will argue with that. I promise you. That's not an opinion. That is fact. Ruination, God Neptune, blow all other combiners out of the water. You can use other combiners if you don't have them. Magna Boss is pretty decent for leveling. I would say it's probably second best in terms of events, maybe. Galvatronus and Skyrain are decent. Probably after Magnaboss. Yeah. But you get the idea. What else? Supreme Lords, why doesn't Skyrain do damage to the CC? What's the CC? The CC? Shield generator? CC? CC? Huh. Grind time, no sponsors yet. I actually got an offer for a sponsorship in some way for a product placement. I got an email and part of me was like, that's pretty cool, but no. So I got an offer for someone of a lightsaber company that builds lightsabers, and they said, we think it'd be really good that your fans will like these lightsabers, but we want you to do a 10-minute video about the lightsabers and a short as well. And I was like, I wouldn't mind a free lightsaber, but I was like, but I'm not a Star Wars channel. I'm an Earth Wars channel, so that's not gonna work. But I would like a lightsaber. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, that's the nearest I've got to a sponsor, sadly. Vic Ching, Coke always with whiskey. It's not Coke. It's not Coke. Let's not put it out there. Spectral Hunter, I follow the tier list you made 6-7 months ago. Is it still viable? I would say 99%. There's a couple of bots that have maybe had reworks that might change, but yeah, pretty much. It's going to miss a few of the new bots, I think, maybe. So they're not in there. But other than that, yeah. Command Center. Command Center. Hey, who calls it Command Center? Who calls it that? Hey, we're not playing Command and Conquer. HQ. I don't think it should. There's a lot of builds that don't hit the HQ because the apes, I don't know what to call them. The apes have said that it shouldn't. What am I going to call them now? I need to find a name, honestly. Was it Theory Sabers? No, I can't remember the name. I can't remember. But yeah, they're going to send me a Star Saber in the post. A Star Saber. A Star Saber. Oh my god. A lightsaber. They're going to send me not a Star Saber. I'd take a Star Saber. They're going to send me a lightsaber in the post. I could do a Star Wars channel too. I'm not that big a Star Wars fan. I like Star Wars. I'm quite a fan, but not a huge fan. Call them Super 8s from now on. I don't know. We need to think of a name. Anyway. Sounds like a new Sith Lord. Yeah, Star Saber. Yeah, true. True. Okay. So yeah, we're also sort of on the topic of this. So it was announced before Christmas that behind the scenes all was not well, and that the game was moving to another game company. So what has happened is that I'll be honest with you, I've had a talk with Dale about this, and I'm not too sure what I can say and what I can't say. So I'm trying to be careful and not saying too much what's happening behind the scenes that I can't sort of say yet. But I will say that I will be confident or not confident on what will happen over the next 4 weeks. For me, it depends on the personnel. But what seems to have happened is that, bizarrely, the Space 8 Games was taken over by Supercell. Now, Supercell runs some huge games, some massive games that take millions of pounds. And we've seen in the past that they've had games that have done all right that they've just dropped because they haven't took the kind of money that Clash Royale and Clash of Clans is taking. And so my understanding is that Supercell have come in, they've seen Transformers doing all right money, but not like groundbreaking money, and said, we don't think that it's taken enough money to warrant keeping it running. And Space Ape have gone, whoa, okay, they can't argue they're owned by Supercell now. And it seems like Yanis behind the scenes has gone, well, no, I want to keep the game going. It's making profit, it's making money, which Dale said it is. It's doing well. Why would you shut a game down that's making money? And so the understanding is the Yanis has gone to another company. Or before that, it seems like Supercell have said, or Space have said to Yanis that you can have the game basically and go and take it with you wherever you want to go, because we were going to shut it down anyway. It doesn't cost anything to us. Go and take it. And so Yanis has took up another game company, and they basically said, well, what do you need from us? And he's like, nothing. We just need your backing, basically, to be part of your company. We'll have our own staff members. We'll be self-sufficient. We'll make a profit, which obviously our share will go to that company. And it looks like they've turned around and gone, well, listen, as long as you're making money, we're making money off it, even if it's just a bit of money, then we're happy for you to do what you've got to do. We're not going to do anything. It's not going to cost us office space because we're going to work remotely. It's not going to cost us anything at all to run this game. It's just going to make money and be self-sufficient. So, yeah. And so Yanis, all credit to him, has gone, right, I'm going to take the game away. And I think that is great news. I'll talk more about it in a few weeks when I can talk more about it, about a bit more behind the scenes, but a lot more has gone on other than that, which will make sense when I talk about it. A lot of things came together when Dale explained it to me a bit. And I was like, right, yeah, I kind of get that. But the big looming question now is who is staying with Supercell and who is leaving to go with Yanis. Now, if you're talking from a career aspect, then maybe you're best staying with Supercell. Huge games company, huge opportunities. Or do you go with Yanis because you love the game and you have faith in the game? So, my understanding is that Yanis is leaving regardless. He's taking the game. Let's go. So you've got to look at the other people in terms of Hyro. Is Hyro going to stay with the game? Do they need to employ someone else that is going to run the economy? Is Dale going to stay with Supercell um, and be their community manager? Or is he going to move with the game? Now, I don't want to start a bit of a uprising, but in my interview with Dale, he did say that he feels like every 5 years you need a refresh maybe of a community manager. And Dale's been with the company about 5 years now. So is that Dale sort of telling us that his time's sort of done with Transformers Earth Wars and he feels like someone else would be more beneficial? Or is he just sort of saying that because he maybe believes that and maybe just that's just a comment off the cuff? I don't know. Personally, I'm a bit on the fence. I don't know if Dale's going to move with the game or whether he's going to stay at Supercell. I hope he does. I mean, he brings a lot to the game. I think he's vital to the game, honestly. He does a lot, puts a lot of passion into it, and I hope he does go with it. But the question is that does he go with the team that he loves? And he's always said that he's not got a massive affinity to Space 8, more affinity to the players and more affinity to Yanis because he works with him closely. And Dale has always been remote. So is he going to stick with, his friends and where he's comfortable? Or is he going to make a career decision and go, you know what, Supercell's a bigger company. I'm going to stay with Supercell. And the same with Hyro as well. Are they going to go with Yanis or are they going to stay? And that's the big question sort of at the minute. Who can go, who can stay. So, because don't forget, they are contracted to Space Ape. And so Space Ape could say, well, no, you're not leaving. But then I suppose they could hand their notice in and leave the company. No one's forced to stay somewhere. But is it a case of Space Ape just going, right, you can go on this date, it's fine, and coming to a mutual agreement? Or is it a case of Space Apes digging their heels and going, no, we want you to stay, we'll offer you some more money maybe because you're going to be vital to whatever we're doing. And then obviously then Dale's got a choice. Does he leave or does he stay? But I know that a lot of people hate on Hyro, but I think he will be a bit of a big miss to the game. He does understand the game. I know he has a bit out of touch in some respects, that his managing of certain currencies within the game is quite, out of touch. But you've got to think that any game that's lasted 9 years has to have had some kind of control on its economy to keep it in line. So overall, it's not done a too bad job. I just feel like, which we're going to talk a bit about later, but I just feel like there's some things in the economy that are massively under monetized, undervalued, and there's some things that are massively over monetized and overvalued, and needs to be some sort of balance. I think some things need to be more monetized, and some things need to be less monetized, and sort of come in between a bit and update some of the things behind the scenes. But maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe, which we can talk about another date. But that's the big question at the minute: is the team going to stay with Yanis, stay true to the game, and move? Or are they going to stay at Supercell, who's Space Ape are now owned by? After that, then externally, I don't know if Supercell will be completely bought out, and that will just be a Supercell. Space Ape will be bought out and become a Supercell office maybe, because they've got a massive share in the company already. I think they might have looked at it and gone, listen, well, for an extra, I think they owned 60%, maybe something like that, maybe a bit more before that. And they've gone, well, an extra 40%, we take over the office, we have all the staff, we can move them to our current games and run the games better. Maybe they've got another project behind the scenes where they want someone in London running that. I don't know what Supercell's intentions are. I'm not even sure if the likes of Fastlane and Beatstar are going to continue. Do they do the revenue that Supercell require from their games even? Or will they shut them down even? Listen, nothing's off the table right now. Nothing's set in stone. Everything is up in the air. But all we know is that everyone's been off for Christmas. And everyone behind the scenes is obviously making decisions. I'm sure they've had conversations, but we won't know anything until, I would say, probably the next stream, where they can probably talk about it a bit more and have a few more plans. No doubt there'll be some questions in the chats. What's happening? No doubt Dale will be bombarded with questions. But for now, all we can say, one thing we're sure of, is the game will be moving soon. That's it. So let me know what your thoughts are. Do you think it's going to be good for the game? Do you think it's going to be bad for the game? Do you think Dale should move? Are we being selfish by saying Dale should stay with the game and stay with Giannis if it was your decision and it was a decision around your career? Would you actually stay with Supercell? But we always talk about do you want to be a big fish in a small pond or a small fish in a huge pond? And again, that's not for everyone. Some people like smaller businesses where it's a bit more personal and you know everyone. Some people prefer the big corporate image and the protection you get from the big corporate image and the chance to progress maybe over time. Dale always said to me he doesn't want to progress. He likes being a community manager. Does he want to be a community manager though for Supercell? And that makes it dead easy. And that's why he's saying that, because he doesn't have to do developing for other games. He just does it for Earthworks. He loves it so much. Is he saying that we need a new community manager because he's been the community manager for 5 years and feels like he wants to stay with Supercell? I don't know. Some sort of answers do point towards that. I won't be surprised if Dale actually stays with Supercell and the rest of the team move. I know that Callum is still looking for a job, so we might have Callum come in rather than Dale. I mean, Callum doesn't know the game, doesn't know the community. It's all a bit up in the air at the minute. Let's have a look. What everyone's saying. So have a look. High classifieds put MSF content by God. Let's go. I've started playing a bit less actually. Marvel Strike Force. It's getting a bit boring now. If I'm honest with you. I'm level 100. I've got most of the tunes, so I'm a bit like everything's just point and click now. Really. It's just clicking every day. I'm more going toward Marvel Rivals. It's a good game. Berserk probably need more resources than the current skeleton crew. Yeah, well, they've said that they can have as many as they want, basically, because back then, Space Ape have said you could only have so many people and very much controlled the game. But now they're sort of like going, the other company has gone, well, it's up to you guys. Let's have 50 employees if you want. As long as you're making money, we don't really care. Just give us, listen, they might have agreed, listen, we want 10 grand a week off you just for using our name. As long as we get our 10 grand, we don't care after that. And maybe Giannis gets a share of that. I don't know. Listen, I'm not into sort of that sort of side of the business, like, and I wouldn't be because it's obviously private what they agree. But I imagine it was some sort of deal where the company gets an X amount or percentage, and after that they just want a successful game really to make money. Yeah, Dale should stay with the game. Lordy put, I hope Dale does go. Honestly, I'll say this much, that a lot of the good things in the game have come to the game because of Dale. I will say that. Spectral, wait, Space Up is selling the game. Well, giving the game away to Giannis, really. Well, Supercell, yeah. Lordy, he's burned far too many bridges with a longer term player. He has no respect in anything he says. Well, you didn't see the last minute manager before him. The game was sold in 2017. Well, the game was sold in 2017. You mean part of it was sold? You mean the company, not the game? The game was never sold as such. It's almost a done deal with the sell. Oh, it's happening. That's 100%. That's not almost done deal. It is happening. Giannis is definitely leaving with the game. But the question is, who goes with him? That's the big question. Sharks is bought. Dale's Discord bio says, I work in games and part of the Supercell group. That's been there for quite a while, to be fair. That has been on his bio for a good lot longer than this. Vixen, if the game is doing 7+ years, 9 years. 9 years. 9 years today, I think. No, 9 years 2 days ago. New Year's Eve, I downloaded the game. 9 years. I mean, got it here. Look, 3,289. So it's like, you got to think that obviously 3,650 is 10 years. So 9 years the game's been going. It's mad. Vic says, yeah, but Hiro is doing something right. Yeah. Listen, I would say he's doing 70% of his job very well. Very well. Extremely well. But 30% of it, very, very poor. And that's the nowhere in between. The 70% and the 30%. You're like, mad. Blade 19 come up on 9 years playing. It's a long time. Grind time, I think and hope they stay together. Yep. I hope they lower the price of the pack Spectral Hunters pot. I don't think they will. I think that nothing much will change monetization wise. I just think that content will come out on time better, I think. They'll have more hands. Grind time. We all just need to be patient until the dust settles a bit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just keep playing the game regardless and wait till it comes. Berserk's put the game economy needs a full revamp. I don't think if it needs a full revamp. There's a lot of things in the game that work alright. High corners. How much do I have to score for both raid parts? 50k. Star 68. It's better for Dale and Hyrule to go with the game as there will probably be more layoffs in Space Safe after the merge. There's already been layoffs. There's already been quite a few layoffs. I think that Dale might even be waiting to see that will he have a job even at Supercell. Are they going to do more layoffs? You know, that's the big question, really. Yeah. But again, that's for him to sort of like look into and make a decision on. Calvin's, but I think Dale should do what he will enjoy, and I say kudos to him on his decisions. Yeah. Volcanics number 1, 7+ years as well. Dale and Hyrule would be great to keep. It's a personal choice for them. But for the game, I think it will be a huge benefit in a transition like this. I agree. High corners. I would advise you to buy the Battle Pass, honestly, for 75 souls to get them. I really would. The Battle Pass, Side Pass even, is an amazing value, honestly. It's the one thing in the game I think is amazing value everyone should buy. After that, maybe not. Time fan, are Dino King and Raiden temporary? Or do they stay forever once you get them? They stay forever. Once you got them, that's it. They stay forever. Star 68, but the main thing is the game developers stay with the game. Well, that's Yanis mostly. Goody Fox has put, I hope if Dale does leave, he tells us what they are finally adding paddles. I don't think so. And Grand Time, put your application in, Wozza. I know I talked to Grand Time about this, and he's like, listen, why don't you go and do like a tester for the game, though, like not a play tester, an actual tester behind the scenes. But one, I don't think that that's an actual just one job as a tester. There'll obviously be developers or something behind the games and a tester, which I'm not qualified for. 2, they couldn't afford me because I couldn't do it part-time. It'd be a full-time job, and they won't pay me what I earn in my job. So, not a chance. I'm not going to say it, actually, but let's just say that I'm paid enough. Yeah. I don't think they're going to give me Yanis's wage to be a tester when he's the head guy. Star 68 but I don't mind if Dale leaves. Calvin's put, do you think Hasbro will allow him to keep the IP? Yes, part of the deal was sorry, I did mention this in my last stream. So you got to think that sorry. Oh, as you can see, I'm still not 100%. So my understanding is that Hasbro really love Yanis. They think he's brilliant. He's the one that they deal with every time they come to London. He's who they talk to. Everything like that. They love his ideas. They love how he's super, loves Transformers and stuff. So my understanding is that they've given them a 5-year extension to use the IP, which normally it's like a 2-year extension, I think. And they've given him 5 years. So the game is safe for 5 years, as long as it's making money, which it will, it's guaranteed. Oh, I just realised I did my section on that, and I was on the newsletter as well. All about the dinger. Wow. Let's change scenes. There we go. That's a bit better, isn't it? Hi, Con. Remember what happened to Forza 5 when Netflix took over? That was a bit different. The game was already shutting down. The game had shut down. It moved. That's a bit different. Um, Strax's Sport. So Yanis got paid by Supercell the first time, then got them to give him the game. Got paid by Supercell the first time. What do you mean? No, like, I don't even mean by that. So nothing to do with Supercell at all. Space Ape have given Yanis the game because they're going to close it down anyway because Supercell wants to close it down. But yeah. Candyman, I've played for 3,266 days. Haha, less than me. Glock has put, can the Dino King parts be purchased with Shanix? No, I think they'll be purchased with shards at a later date. 4-star shards. Berserk put, kudos to Yanis for the love of the game. Hope he gets to do some good ideas and also listens to new ideas. Yeah, you know what? I've got a new appreciation for Yanis after this. I really have. He's done very, he could have just gone, right, okay, we'll shut the game down, we'll do something else. And he probably could have done it anyway, Yanis, with the reputation, what he's done with this game. But he loves the game that much, so yeah. SA should sell our accounts. SA should let us sell our accounts to them, since all they would do is sell them. They don't sell our accounts. No, the game closes down, you lose your account. You lose everything. That's it. Done. There's no refunds. There's no like selling your account. Just that's it. Done. Spectral Hunter Sports. So if you can get an app for new players and bot builds, what should I invest, for example? You gain some books too. Ads. If you talk about putting ads in the game, they said they never will. They said they don't like the idea. They don't like ads in games, so I don't think that'll happen. Blue Megan, how's it going? Happy New Year to you too. High Corners put, I hate shard collecting. I use 5-star shards to level to corporal. Oh, don't. Honestly, I think it's a waste. Unless you're at the highest levels of the game and you've got spare 5-star shards, then please don't use them for ranks. The ranks are so overrated. I mean, getting 5% health and 5% damage in exchange for 5-star shards. If you asked me and you said, would you rather have 5 bots at corporal or a new 5-star bot? A new 5-star bot all day. Leo Prize Matrix has put, what's your opinion on Omega Supreme? Also, the 4-star ability is broken, doesn't apply any buff to the bots once he dies. Please don't tell me that, because I was putting an outpost to test him out. By chance. So don't say that. I literally just thought, yeah, I'm going to try his 4-star ability in an outpost, like, Reflect. With Beachcore Reflect. I think it's pretty decent. I think it'd be, it could cause some damage. And I hope it's not that. I hope it's working. Spending 5-star shards on combined upgrade is also a mega ripoff. Well, yeah, we know that already though. Yeah, yeah, cool. So next subject. So we talk about the economy all the time, and we talk about 5-star shards, and we talk about obviously fuel cell economy and wars midweek and things that are slowing the game down, things that need speeding up, new content being overpriced. But I think we overlook something that we take for granted, and it's going to cause huge problems, I feel, down the line if not addressed quickly. So Space Ape recently have said that they're doing some work behind the scenes. I think a lot of that has sort of come on a bit of a back burner because of the game moving to a different game company. And so some of the plans they wanted to do have been put on the back burner a bit. But one thing I think they really need to address is the amount of crystals that people have. People are mounting up and mounting up and mounting up crystals. And it's getting to a point where whatever new content they bring out, If it's in crystals in some way, people are going to have a lot of it on day one, which means it's not monetized. So the problem they've got is they need to start bringing content out that's not in crystals. So then the question is like, what do you do with crystals? So you can see here that this is my live account. To give you an idea, it's not just a flex, but I want to give you an idea on what I wouldn't even consider myself a top player. I was at one time, but I've sort of took a bit of a back step. And this is to give you an idea that there's players that are far surpass me. And so I've got 300,000 4-star shards. I've got 2,500 Prem crystals. I've already got 12,000 5-star shards. I still got a few combat shards, 5k. I've got 35,000 Prime Core shards. And then if you look at this, I've got 60 Autobot crystals, which is mostly bots, some combats. But on top of that, we've got 4,500 crystals. Now, a lot of people that do this sometimes have free crystals. But yeah, there's some total shard crystals in there. But I've still got 800 combat chips, 400 crystals there, 40 crystals there. I've got about 100 combat chips there, 100 crystals there. I've got another 48, about another 200 crystals there, 600 combiner crystals there, another 100 crystals that I've saved there as well. You can see there's a lot of crystals to pull. And I've always said that I'm saving this when new content comes out. And so I feel like if Space Ape tomorrow said, we're bringing out 5 new cores, I don't think I'd even have to pull all those crystals to get all those 5 cores on day one. And so all of a sudden, some of the content that they usually monetize and people have to get over time, people will get instantly. And I feel like it's a huge problem. Not because of the shard economy, but because of the crystal economy of getting new content in terms of cores even. It's at a point now where I was always saying that the Buildbot economy is kind of at its peak now. We can't bring out any more Buildbot cores without it being oversaturated. It's already saturated. I feel like we've gone one step too far with the water core. I don't think it was required. And I did say when the fire cores came out that they need to start adding these 2 defenses maybe. Or in some other way. They can't add more Buildbots. So how are they going to shift the meta over? They've said for a while that the meta is really focused on being too hard. The game is a bit too hard. And they've always said that it's a bit of like a pendulum where the game will swing to a too hard and they'll bring out bots and they'll bring out things to make it easy, being combiners or whatever, and they'll swing back to being easy again. And then no doubt the top players will complain it being easy and they'll swing back to being hard again. And it never sits in the middle. It always swings either way. And obviously with the new combiner focused on defense coming out, it's almost like all the content at the minute is focused on defense with the likes of Beachcomber as well. A lot of defense focus. So the game is going to shift to being easy, and it kind of starting to now, starting to get a bit easier. And so then the question is, when they try and make it hard by introducing new cores or something in some way, everyone will just go, thank you, on day one. And all the money they put into developing these cores, people already have. I know even lower players that are doing this, that are hoarding cores and hoarding crystals. And I've said, don't do it, because unless you're at the top level of the game, you don't need that. You don't need to do that. That's for the top players of the game that need them cores on day one. But when you've got top players normally that will go out and blow hundreds, even thousands of dollars on day one to get that new content, I feel that's kind of the past now and gone, because everyone's got enough crystals to go and get it. And I don't even think it's Dino Gates caused that. I think it's a lack of new content. Now, do we put that down to the team not having enough members under Space Ape? Do we put it down to this sort of merger and the game moving? I don't know. But I do feel like we need some new, fresh content in the game other than combiners, combats, bots. It's been very much rinse and repeat for maybe the last 9 months, maybe a year. It's not been too much. Couple of build bot calls, but it just seems to be always build bot calls, build bot calls, build bot calls. Will we see the next HU upgrade? We've said that we've seen SpaceX say that it's not even in development yet, but we do need a third MDS attachment. But I even think that won't help. Once you get the MDS attachment, that's not going to cost crystals. So what we're going to use these crystals for, other than 5-star bots? Once people have all the 5-star bots, what are they going to do? You know, I suppose the grind time today is going to start pulling cons. I probably won't level them though, but I might just go and pull cons. But it gets to the point where you're like, well, I've kind of completed the game. And that's where people are sort of at. And that's where the boredom sort of sets in, because there's nothing to chase anymore. Because you've got an abundance of every single resource in the game. And I feel like we need to address that in some way. And so hopefully we'll see some content coming out. Hopefully SpaceX have sort of said that when they do move the game over, they can bring out more content a bit quicker. It'll probably go a bit smoother because they've got more people on the game. Hopefully the economy will sort of peak up a bit where people aren't overflowing with resources, because the biggest problem that you don't want to have, if people overflow with resources, the game then struggles to make money after that. So here's hoping 2025 is full of new content, not just bots, not just combiners, titans, not things like that, but actually like, you know, new cores, new ways to defend, not just to make the game massively more difficult, but something a bit different, so we can defend against some big metas and big meta changes that have happened in 2024. So here's 2025, and let's see what we get. Yeah, granted, but you can show the screenshots I sent you everyone. I haven't got them to hand the screenshots. I'm not going to go to Discord and show some chats maybe that I've got open, but it's a lot. He's probably got his grind time just opened a load of crystals and has still got more than me. Cuddy Fox, years ago they used to do a bot every month and a combat every other month, yeah. But they struggled with the timing and reduced it down so they could get content out. Look what happened. Berserk's put, it's okay if it's not monetized for veterans. They need low to mid players to keep engaged, and Cyber Pass is enough. I don't think it is. Cyber Pass is not enough to keep the game going alone. If the game's got 20,000 players and half of them buy the Cyber Pass, then it's still in $100,000 a month, which is not a crazy amount. I know it sounds a lot, but it's not. It's not as much as you think. I can't says, but can you donate me some crystals? If I could, I would, honestly. Astrolance put, what's the idea behind your wall design? Wozza, I saw it being used by most of the top players. I'm not sure. I'd love to give someone credit who first did it. But what you find with these wall placements is some bots will walk through the walls, some will walk round, so it just causes splits. Most wall designs nowadays, they're not designed to slow bots down, they're designed to split. And that's a bit of a shame as well, because you don't see time traps anymore. But it's designed to very simply just split bots. Leo Primes, but maybe in defense it works, but not on offense. Well, I doubt it will, but we'll see. The expert sport, I've been wondering about the event. They switch it as a solo event. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Is HU19 possibly here in 2025? I don't think it will be HU19. I think we might see the next HQ upgrade. Instead of going to do it in 4 parts, we've only seen point 1, point 2, and point 3, what we called them. We've not seen point 4 yet. We've not seen the 4th one, so we'll probably see that. Yeah, Cuddy Fox has put, there's no defense really for Leo Convoy. Just let him burn everything before any outpost bots come out. Yeah, exactly. It's a bit too easy there, yeah. How about bringing headmasters? Yeah, headmasters are good. It's new bots, new content, but we need something a bit different, I think. Cuddy Fox, I'm already opening Con Crystal just so I can try to get more 4-star bots to get more spark. Well, I mean, again, like I've got 3 more spark there because I've just used some. I can't remember who I used it on, but then I always say I've got this here. I can't remember how many I've got. But I've got about 3 million spark just sat there as well. So I've got like 6 mil sparks. I definitely don't need spark. And again, that's a problem. 6 mil spark, 146,000 Shanix. Again, I'm not just flexing, I'm just proving a point. I've got 5 million combat spark. I was low on combiner spark, but I've still got 1.6 mil, and I've still got all those total shard crystals, which a third of them will be combiner spark. So there's a lot in there, so I don't need combiner spark anymore. Energon alloy is to come by, or 13 you can buy from the shop. I can buy Zen from the shop. I can buy XP from the shop because I've got enough. You can buy, obviously what you can buy is you can buy Z Energon with Shanix, and then you can use Z Energon for, where is it? I forgot now. There, to buy XP. So I can buy XP one as well. So, you know, crystals wise, I've got pretty much all the G1s that I need. I think. Do I not have blue streaks? I think. Yeah, blue streaks the only G1. I actually got Beachcomber the other week, and I got Leo Prime over Christmas. Could do an upgrade, not 20 actually. So it's just blue streaks G1 that I need. That is it. That is the only thing in the game that I need, I think. So yeah, you know. Spectral Hunters, but maybe they can include more interaction between bots in battle. I don't know how, but maybe. Cuddy Fox, I use Sludge a lot. I just find he dies. Any tank that doesn't have a shield in some way dies very quickly. Astral Amph, I thought the top guys just trolling because they're bored. No, 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 honestly. If you look at these bases and you ever think people are trolling, trust me, they're not, honestly. Blade 19, but because of Mayhem mode, they need to put up the scores. People need to finish events. So people will start spending on events, maybe. You know, I don't think people will like that. That's a very unpopular opinion, but it's true, I think. Spectral Hunters put dialogues in the middle of the fight. I'm not too sure that would work, having dialogues in the fight. They'll talk about putting more sounds in there by people and things like that, but I don't think they will, yeah, I don't think they will, put them in mid-battle anyway. So, yeah. Let's jump to the test account. So look at this. So we're carrying on some best bots in the game and some of the best setups for bots. We've covered quite a few bots already, so those will probably be finished by the end of this week and posted. All of them will be available to members, and the rest will be posted and available throughout probably the month of January. Going into February, you'll probably start to see the rest of these. It'll probably mean, rather than just posting 2 a week, I'm probably going to post 3 a week. So it'll be 2 videos, and it'll be like a bot spotlight, so to speak. And sort of like a series in a way that people will be able to watch every week, and that'll come out. So obviously we're doing 3 of these every week, 3 or 4. So I've literally got 12 weeks worth. So we might even get 2 a week. But it's going to be coming out quite constant, which will hopefully feed into having more subscribers, maybe. But this week's first bot we're going to look at is Roadbuster. And so I think as a start, Roadbuster's G1 is a good example of a core on the bot. Outside of that, again, I always say that it's either a G1 or a prime core. If the G1's not very good, then it's usually a prime core. After that, the rest of the cores are not very good. I'm probably need a buff, if I'm honest with you. But Roadbuster's G1 is very good. It increases his special ability damage, so he can sort of take out those MDS that are shielded, take out the shield gen, whatever you need him to, even the shock towers. In terms of combat, I mean, I'm getting a bit bored of just saying the Forge of Solus Prime. It's very easy. It's probably one of the best weapons or combats in the game. Very easy just to keep saying, go and get that, go and get that, go and get that. So I thought, you know what? Let's just eliminate the Forge of Solus Prime and just say it's very good and it can probably go on most bots. Outside of that, if you don't have that, because I understand not everyone has that, where do we go then? So for me, I use Buzzstrike. I still do to this day. Did do for a long time. I use Buzzstrike because of its high DPS, because it does 1,000 damage. When you use Buzzstrike and he throws that sort of sword down every 6 seconds, it does like 2k damage in a line every 6 seconds. So if you could do some decent damage in an area, sometimes that can sort of finish it off. Or you can do damage in an area, and if you're careful around looking at where it's gone, the damage, then you can do damage over the top of that and finish some defenses off with the ability even. And if you're even fighting outpost bots, if it does 2 of those or 3 of those over the time, you can actually take out quite a few defenses with that buzz strike sort of thing coming down. So a very good combat for him. Also with the hack immunity as well means you can get close to that sort of shield gen cluster, but I don't think you really need to. So hack immunity is not a priority for him because it takes that out from a distance. That's the idea anyway. Bash Breaker with the acid. If you were mixing it with fire in your team, Bash Breaker could be a good option. Obviously that acid fire combination of doing extra damage when you mix the two works very well. But you need fire in your team as well. You need sort of top shot or something, or you need Megatronus in your team as well to make real use of it. Then you've got the obviously 32% increase, which they all have, and negating healing, so could be good against outpost bots. But yeah, it's still good. I wouldn't say like unbelievable, but good. You've got Enerax, which obviously increases health. Can be beneficial to bots with low health, especially 32% increase. An extra healing as well. So Enerax is a good option. You've got Primar's Star Saber, which obviously increases DPS and gives you the Optimus Prime Hollow. It's got 100% of your DPS and your health. It's kind of having another bot on the field. I prefer this on higher HP bots like tanks. But if you want to do some extra DPS, if you find that you're running out of time, then it's a very good option. SP Optimus Prime is a very good option as well, which obviously grants extra DPS, but it doesn't have to be on Roadbuster. It can be on any bot in the team really as well. So I like having SP Optimus in my team, but not necessarily just on Roadbuster. So I think that for the Source Prime, put on any bot you want, very, very good. And I think you're going to find a lot of bots, Buzz Strike, Bash Breaker, SP Optimus Prime, Primal Star Saber, Enerax. These sort of combats are sort of the next tier for most bots. And then if you haven't got those, I think you're looking at the likes of Big Daddy, Sidetrack, Zor, those sort of combats that could just do extra damage. There's no range increase combats like Nightstick or anything from Roadbuster, so you're sort of stuck with melee range still, but you can increase some protection or some healing on him or extra damage. So there's a few options there. Next up, so we've done pipes previously. Try and start again. So we've done pipes previously, and Slug is very similar in the sense of the same cores and combats, but the one big difference about Slug is that he's fire rather than being acid, what pipes is. And so me personally, I like to add fire onto Slug, which is Megatronus, obviously with the amount of fire damage in an area. There's no real acid cores for bots. I would probably put an acid core in them if there was, but there's not, so fire just sort of more suits. He already does fire damage as well, so this just sort of emphasizes that fire damage. But with putting Bash Breaker on him, we talked about doing that acid damage on other bots are not really work unless you have fire in your team. But because we've got Slug there with Negatronus, with doing fire damage, putting that acid in there again emphasizes that. So you've got his fire damage, you've got his Megatronus damage, and you've got acid damage, which increases that. So it's a really good combination. If you've got any bots that already do fire or acid, put the opposite in. So they do fire damage, put them with Bash Breaker, put them with acid damage. If they've got acid, then try and put fire in your team somehow. So try and put Top Shot in, something like that. But you could also, again, put the likes of Quintus in to Slug. If you don't have pipes in your team, you can put Micronus on, you can put Liege on. There's plenty of Prime Cores you can put on him as well. But I just feel like he does more damage than pipes. And so you've got to kind of choose what you want. You can run pipes and do the acid damage, which stops healing, rush him into an area and stop the healing. Or you can use slug, rush him in Megatronus, and then do more damage. Put some acid into the gate healing. Or you can even run both. If you're running pipes into an area and you're running slug, and you're doing that acid damage, and you're doing fire damage, and you're doing bash break on top of that, it kind of mounts up, honestly, and you can rush both bots in, and both being 3 ability points at first use for 6 ability points, you can actually clear a decent area very quickly. And then you've got a question of, if you put in slug and pipes on your team and the idea is to rush them both in the same place to take out an area, then I probably wouldn't go with bash breaker, because you've already got the acid, you've already got the fire. Then I'd probably go with buzz strike, because you have that hack immunity as well. You don't want to rush them in, get hacked by a Liege Core, and then obviously start doing damage to your own team and walk away. You want them to stay in that area doing damage. So I'd consider putting some sort of hack immunity in. We always talk about Forge of Solus Prime being a very good combat or weapon even. So yeah, that's a really good option. And then because of the tank, you've also got the option of, say, Jaze as well, which disables shields and shield drawn. I would say if you're putting him in an outpost, which is not an amazing idea, it's alright, it's a tank, it slows them down, then Jaze is, or Jay's, what do you want to call it, is probably a better option on defense maybe, but not maybe as much for attack. Next up, we've got a bit of an older bot. Obviously, I had a 5-star event for this guy recently, so I imagine a lot of newer players have this bot in their arsenal now. And I think that the standard setup for Blastar is Quintus and Traxodon. Now, the reason Traxodon and maybe not other combats, you'll probably look and go, Traxodon's so old and there's so many better combats. The problem with this is, or difference to this is, that it heals you for 12% of the damage done. Now, that includes your abilities. Now, when you drop your minions, the damage the minions do heals Blaster. So it actually helps to keep them alive having Traxodon in your team. A lot of the sort of healing you have just heals regardless, but where Traxodon actually heals having minions on the field. And then when you add Quintus to it, you've got Sharks coming out, you've got his minions coming out. And I did a sort of thing where at lower levels you can use a sort of minion team and do crazy amount of damage at a lower level. Absolutely madness. Once you start adding likes of Nor in there as well, doing extra minion damage, and the likes of Broadside, just all these sort of minion teams. It's actually quite fun to run them. But I think that the standard setup you will find for Blaster is Quintus and Traxodon. There are other options. His G1 isn't great. If I'm honest with you, I wouldn't bother with his G1. It stuns on death, and I always say I don't like things that happen on death. I don't plan to lose them really. I want them to stay alive. So I don't really like his G1. The stun's average at best. But Traxodon's still good, or anything that sort of heals Blaster keeps him alive. Because he hasn't got that shield to keep him alive. It depends on the Sharks. It depends on his minions to sort of be a shield thrown out in front of him. And you want something that's going to heal him basically and keep him alive. And that's the case of any real sort of tank special bot that doesn't have a shield. Some sort of healing is vital. But I think that the standard setup of Blaster is definitely Quintus and Traxodon. And then last one. So quite a new bot. And it's Blue Streak. So Blue Streak, currently probably the best gunner in the game. I don't think many people will disagree with that. There's a few other bots you could throw into the mix, but I think Blue Streak will probably be the best if you ask a broadside of players. His G1 is very good, but not vital. It's 14.5% increased damage, whereas Volatile Mixture increases by 15.5%. So you can use a Volatile Mixture if you like, but the damage you sort of do is a bit here or there really. It gives a slight increase, but I think either one is pretty decent. The only difference with the G1 is that it grants a little sniper attack that does like 3,000-ish damage and bounces, so it does decent amount of damage to like combiners and outpost bots. So quite similar to Smokescreen in that sense, and I see Blue Streak as an upgrade to Smokescreen in that sense. That's very much similar cost. So you would use Smokescreen twice for 6 ability points. Take out a Billbot. He does it for 5 on the first use, but the next one is 7, which is one dearer than Smokescreen. So over the 2 uses, if you get rid of 2 Billbots, Blue Streak will do more damage for the same cost. So it's definitely an upgrade on Smokescreen. And like Smokescreen, he's got an extra long range, so like a sniper. So you can put combats such as Nightstick and Top Shot on him, but just remember that takes away that sniper range. If you want your bot to sit back and not take any damage, which these sort of bots have low health because they are snipers, then you want to keep glitch on him, or you want a minion combat. Now for me, a minion combat is a bit of a waste. He's got a sniper, does a lot of damage, so glitch is the perfect combination. But you have to accept that any bot you put glitch on reduces their range of their ability. Now the good thing about Blue Streak is his ability range is crazy good. Other bots maybe not so much. It makes it an easier choice for Blue Streak to put glitch on him. But there's nothing wrong with putting Nightstick on maybe, lowering his range, giving him more heal, and just making that ability go that bit further. And currently with a lot of the backloaded bases people are using, and sort of depending on you having bots not having the range that they should, and top players will even set their bases up thinking if you run Blue Streak with glitch you won't be able to reach X target. And so sometimes having Nightstick on or having someone with a shorter range will actually help you to do something in the game which people aren't depending on. So I would say glitch for most of the time on Blue Streak, but there's nothing wrong with putting the likes of Nightstick on if you have one. There are other options that you could probably use, not as good as Nightstick, not as good as glitch, so I would say glitch is the number one choice, Nightstick close second. Then you're looking at a different ranged combat, and again you can put minions on, but I think it's a bit of a waste putting a minion on Blue Streak. See what people are saying about it. Christopher Enriquez has put, I don't watch you, but I saw your stream, so I joined it. Well, thanks for joining. Much appreciated. Grind time, don't say that. It's not true. Well, if you become a member, Wozza send you a chest with a 5-star bot. Don't say that, because literally I will get messages saying, where's my 5-star bot? So no, that's not true. I do send codes out to members and things like that, and I do giveaways for them, but no, you don't get a 5-star bot. Just send me $100 and I'll take care of it for you. Nicholas put how to get 5-star bots, just compete in events, buy the cyber pass, and even spend if you want to get there quicker. It depends how fast you want to get there. Trax has put Megatronus with pipes. Yeah, that acid and fire, yeah, that works as well. I just like Quintus on my pipes, and so I think I'm in slug sometimes with that Megatronus for damage. So I think pipes is more aimed at protection for me, and slug is more aimed at damage. So that's where I have them set up. Wasn't slug supposed to be getting a G1? That's the first I've heard. I don't know. And Trax runs pipes and slug together as well. Yeah, oh yeah. Berserk's but I don't mind the idea of picking up Slug and Rampage, but the rest of the batches and avoid. Well, maybe not. No. Cuddy Fox has bought. I've still not moved my Megatron score off my 4-star Slug. I need to move him one of these days to the 5-star. Oh yeah, definitely. All your best cores with the 5 stars. Astrolance put my blaster has Quintus and Bird Axe. His minions don't heal him, but the Sharks and Quintus do. I'm pretty sure it's the way around, you know. I did a test for this a while back, and I thought that as well. But I don't think it's his Sharks that do. I think it's his minions that do. Pretty confident on that, but I could be wrong. I won't bet on it that way, but I'm pretty sure. Because I thought Quintus healed him as well, but I don't think it does. But I have to test it to be sure. Sunstrike's put Blue Streak and Skids are equal for top gunners. I don't think. I don't think that Skids is anywhere near Blue Streak, I'm honest with you. I'm going to do a war attack actually and show you something that I've been trying to do before we finish the last subject anyway. Goody Fox. I don't have 5-star Blue Streak. I think my 5-star glitch is on Prowl. But I can move him anytime I get a better gunner. Yeah, Prowl's range is not great. So I think it's a bit of a waste putting a glitch on Prowl. Is Blue Streak only used to kill off build bots? No. But if the build bot is in an area, for his first shot, it will kill the build bot and do damage in an area. And it just increases every time you use it. Spectral Hunters put stripes for Elite 1. I wouldn't do. Because Elite 1 jumps and then stripes will run through and just die basically. So I wouldn't put stripes on Elite 1, no. Last Cyan, welcome to the stream. He's put us on the roll, so I didn't want to mess with his phone during driving. It's individual 50k, but it's mayhem mode, so it'll be easier. It's a solo event. Spectral Hunter, can I show you Star Saber? Yeah, I did cover him the other week actually in my stream. I'm pretty sure. This is my test account. But I can show you my live account, I think, actually. What I've got on Star Saber. This is my Star Saber. So I've got him set up. Probably the best setup for Star Saber as well. Expert sport that's done solo should have been a team. Yeah, I think the idea is because after New Year's, people are still obviously recovering from Christmas and all that, and so they didn't want to put. You got to think that when they do a team event, especially at higher levels, they normally have to put people into bids and who can do what, and so they didn't want to put that pressure on people over Christmas, creating teams for events. So I kind of agree that after Christmas should be an individual event. You could argue the timing should have changed, should be after Christmas. Yeah, I would kind of back that up, saying, yeah, you got a point. But with the event being a 50k event or being a bigger event for the combined apartment after Christmas, you don't want people over Christmas sorting teams out and taking bids. And you got to think about the alliance leaders. It's not really fair, is it? You expect low players to even manage to get high in an event? Yeah, but you've got to understand, even if it's a team event, you've all got to put the same points in. So, if it wasn't a 50k event, then it would be a 2 million point event. And you can't say to someone, oh, you do 80k and I'll do 20. That's not fair. The idea is if it was a 2 million event, M would do 50k anyway. So, regardless, you still got to do the points. But I wonder if they would create a bid system in the game itself. That would help a lot. Yeah, but and put it with random people maybe. But then you'd have people bidding and then not doing the points and stuff. So I don't know. Berserk's put any hints on the war changes? No, nothing yet. I am chasing it though. I keep asking. I do. Last Science put being alliance leader is like one of the worst part-time jobs you can have. I agree. Dealing with so many different difficult personalities and trying to do all the number crunching. I was a leader for a while and I left that well alone. I was like, listen, I've got so much to do with my YouTube channel. I don't have the time to deal with this. And you do get really entitled people, honestly, like asking for things and demanding things. And I'm like, nah, no, not happening. Volcanism 1, low players can still get a part of 25k. Yeah, and don't forget, it is mayhem mode. Mayhem mode makes a huge difference. Huge. Spectral Hunter, a full assault duo between Star Saber and Elite 1 works for you. Star Saber and Elite 1 at the lower end of the game, low to mid, are absolutely amazing. Unbelievable. Once you get to the higher levels, they're pretty awful. The point to Star Saber and Elite is if you can use their ability and clear an area, you'll get enough points back to warrant using their abilities. At the higher levels of the game, they don't do enough damage to take out an area, and so you're using 8 ability points and getting 0 back. So you've always got to think that if you're using ability for X amount of points, it's quite expensive. What are you getting back? If you're using 5 ability points and getting 2 or 3 or 4 back, then that's amazing because it's going to cost you hardly anything. If you're using 8 ability points and getting 0 back, or even just 1, it's not ideal. You want to use 8 ability points and get a few back so you can use the ability again, maybe. But yeah, very good at lower levels, Elite and Star Saber for that reason, just a bit expensive. Last science in our alliance experiences that people who complain about individual versus team when it comes to things like the weekend are those that usually don't put up their share of the work. Maybe. I don't want to generalise, but yeah. Junior Miss Haven, welcome to the stream. What's with the wall layout at the base? It's to separate bots. It lets certain bots go through. Don't ask me why, but it's about pathing. It lets certain bots walk through and certain bots walk around. So all of a sudden your healers are running around trying to heal and can't. So yeah. Berserk's put in one of the daily interviews, he said the changes were made are ready to roll out soon, but we haven't heard anything in PT. Maybe Engineer Hoist had Elite that started on the same team, but deployed on the opposite side of the map. Could he fox? But yeah, but no offense to Engineer Hoist, he's played at a lot lower level than me. So yeah, he'd be good at that level, but not at this. Last Science put Mayhem mode is a godsend for anybody that has a job or a family. It makes things so much easier. I'm 10 times more likely to spend and participate in events. Same for me. I didn't do a single endurance for about 2 years. I didn't do a single legacy bot. I did drift because of the weekend off. Then I did not done any before or after that until Lightspeed. Because I could, because of Mayhem mode. Simple as that. In terms of the war effect, I'm sure they're pretty much finalised, but I think that the problem is they don't want to do anything yet until they know what's happening with the game and where it's going and things like that, until it's all finalised. I don't think they want to do anything. I don't think anything big is happening in January. They're going to just go through the motions, which I don't blame them. Go through the motions, get things sorted behind the scenes, which is the right thing to do. And then once they're settled in, it might even take 2 months, but once they're settled in to their new job, role, whatever you want to call it, then they can start to, focus on release some of the content out. Yeah, Spectral Hunters, but yes, you are right. Until Zone 12, they are amazing rushers, but I can't fight in higher levels yet. Yeah. Vic Ching put build-ups just on Hoist. I will add it to the list. And yeah, eventually we'll probably go through most of the bots that are decent. That's the idea. And then yeah, have sort of builds from all. So yeah. I'm going to cover some about combiners soon, but I just want to do this war attack. I want to try something that I've seen some people doing. And so let me just get out this base first. So just to show you this. So you see a lot of these bases. I mean, it is Cybertron to be fair, but you see a lot of these bases. And the problem, what they try and do is try and get you to drop your bots high here, and they walk off and die. That's the idea. But I want to take these sections out with a certain combo, and we're going to give it a go. So that combo is I always put a bots as well and what bots I'm going to drop first, so you'll know straight away which bots I'm going to drop. So I always drop pints first because I like to destroy stuff and then add sharks to it. Just get through the base a bit quicker. Then we're going to add Blue Streak, and we're going to add, let's just do this, Air Raid. That might give you a hint what we're going to do. Then we're going to add our healer in, so we're going to drop pints first, and so he can catch any mines. I don't want any of my bots, Blue Streak or Air Raid, hitting a mine, then I can't use their abilities and sort of knackers up the attack. So we're going to drop Blue Streak, pints first, sorry, to hit the mines. Then Blue Streak, then Air Raid, then Minerva just to keep him alive. Then, once we're getting through the base, then I'm going to drop, I think I'm going to drop Leo Prime quite high and sort of almost suicide him, but just keep taking out the base, I think. That's my plan, I think. And then we might lose him, might lose healers, and then I'm going to take Optimal Optimus. Do I take Sea Spray maybe? I don't know. Someone a bit of AoE. I think they'll probably do most of the damage there. I'll have Blue Streak as well, but it'd be quite expensive. Do I take Smoke Screen as well? I probably need another tank actually, so I'm going to take Slug. Then another healer. I like 2 healers in case one dies and they can heal each other. I'm going to take Ruination as always. Let's go. Let's see how effective it is. So drop in Pipes, Blue Streak, Air Raid, Minerva. Make sure you can hit. Yep. Oh, that's great. That's perfect. So we're gonna do there, and then Blue Streak. Then we're gonna do there. Then we're gonna do Blue Streak. Then there. Oh, we can't hit it. I think I can do that and then do it that way. Ah! Can I get it in time with the acid core, maybe? Will it last long enough? Oh, not quite. But we can do the other side now. Who's that? Why is he walking off? Oh, great. Looks like I have to do some damage with him instead because he's walking off. That didn't quite go to plan, did it? We're going to lose Optimal Optimus, I think. Maybe even Blue Streak as well. Could drop my combine a bit early. Up there. Don't die so quick. I'm going to put our bots down there, do some damage. Take out the liege core, hopefully. There we go. We're definitely going to lose them bots there, I think. This can get pipes up there quite quickly. Right, let's get pipes up there. Then we need to run Slug over there. Get rid of Triptychon. This is going in an absolute mess. Might work though with the fire and acid. Yeah, I think we might just do it. So the Blue Streak and Air Raid thing worked really well. What didn't work well is the fact that our bats bot split. So we talk about pathing, so we need to path them a bit lower. So that went absolutely completely wrong. We did it. Good practice first time. But yeah, definitely need to put blue streak and area together with pipes, and drop the rest of the box a bit lower on the launch pad. But you can see that that cleared out a huge amount of the base from the launch pad. So pathing was awful, but the ability combo was amazing. So yeah, cool. Grind times put good grief. I'm struggling in wars right now. This is a lot of planning for a Cybertron level base. I plan that out regardless. I do a lot of planning. I always do. Andy Swales has put the news that I got from SpaceX suggests you can get 4 out of 6 parts new combiner now from the shop. Well, not now, but this weekend, I presume. Do they mean during the event? No, you get 2 during the event, and you can buy the other 4, I imagine. The expert put, why aren't people using new combiners? They're just waiting for the 4 parts. Yeah, basically waiting for 4-star parts, yeah. Yeah, someone's trying to put, wait, what's half of the team doing down there? I know, yeah, I didn't want half the team walking up. That's the problem. I wanted the rest of the team down there. I wanted all the team down there. Not them. That's the problem. Not the fact that they were down there. The problem was that they were up there. That's the problem. Cool. And then last thing. So this weekend's event, we talked about the new combiners and the 4-star parts, and everyone presumed that we were getting the 4-star part and we'd get all 6 trains. But SpaceX have come up with this clever sort of way to monetize it a bit more highly, and they're going to bring out 2 4-star parts each event, it seems. We'll probably see this last over 3 events, and if you look at it from a monetization and from a engagement perspective, then it's a good idea, because it means that you're getting the 4-star part over 3 events and not 1. Now, the counter for that is that if you're playing it over 3 events, and those events, which are like the current one, are 50k, it means you're doing a lot of points for the 4-star part, which you wouldn't have for previous 4-star parts. And so it's kind of like, as the economy sort of jumped up that much, that a 4-star part now for a combiner takes so much. So I thought I would sort of compare the two. And so I thought I would look back at comparing the current combiner rating to the Omega part that came out. Now, don't get me wrong, Omega came out in October 2020, which was 4 years ago. And I've recently done a video asking, will the 5-star Omega Supreme part be reduced in cost? And Dale sort of in the interview said that, well, maybe not, because the 5-star shard economy has increased and 5-star shards are becoming more and more easy to obtain. And so the question you've got to ask is that if they're doing this for the 4-star part, are they going to do exactly the same for the 5-star part? Now, the 4-star Omega Supreme part, if we look at the event, the 4-star Omega Supreme part was 1,500. The Grapple or Overlord gun part, and if we look at the cost for it, it was 1.5 million points. Now, 1.5 million points as an alliance event divided by 40 was around 40k points each. So if we're saying that it was 40k points in 2020 and now it's 50k, then that kind of makes sense that it's 50k parts. So, but the problem now is that we're not saying it's 50k for the 4-star part. We're saying it's 50k, 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 150k for a 4-star combiner. The 3-star alone was 25k each. It was a 1 million event. So the question you got to ask is it worth it doing all these events? Now, the counter against that is that Mayhem Mode has made 50k so much easier. And so now, events 50k compared to 40k is so much easier than it was with Ruination in zone 14, 15, 16, 17 even in events in Mayhem makes points a lot more viable. And so, yes, you've got 25k. Yes, you've got 4-star part times 3 to get. I don't think that's too unreasonable. Doing 50k times 3, it's not like past combiners. It's not ideal. The economy has shifted. That's not my worry. The worry is what happens when the 5-star part comes out. Are they going to be asking for 70k points times 3? Are they going to be asking, doing an event where it's 3 or 4 mil times 3? Is the 5-star part going to be absolutely ridiculously overpriced? Now, if they're doing 70k for a 5-star part, even 80k, maybe even 100k with Mayhem, I kind of get that. It's for a 5-star combiner part. But 70k points times 3, it's not going to be 40k. We're doing that for the 4-star part. It's going to be more than that. So it's going to be at least 60, 70k times 3. And that is my worry. Is that it's so overpriced compared to a Mega Supreme. And so my question is, will it actually be beneficial to use 5-star shards rather than spending on 3 events? We've said 50k is easy free to play. 70k is difficult free to play. So you probably got to spend for 3 events. So the big question is, do we wait for the 5-star part and spend our 5-star shards that we say we've got an abundance of at the top level? Are we alienating 5-star parts from lower players? Is that right? Because the 5-star part, but we have talked about being a defensive combiner mostly. So that's where we stand. So all we could do is complete this event, maybe purchase the 4-star part within the 4-star part within the shop. We could probably do that. How much does the 5-star part cost? That's a big question. So we'll wait and see. But this weekend's event is for 2 of the 6. Should be quite easy to do through Mayhem mode. We'll get the 4-star part and then we will discuss the 5-star part and see where we go from there. Dustin Brilliant's put 150k for 6 pieces. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Is the level limit 15 for a 3-star combiner? No, I think it's 20 for a 3-star combiner because mine's currently 15 and I'm upgrading. I think it's 20 and then 25 for the 4-star, I think. If they do release the train bots as separate bots, no, they're not. There's no separate bots, just parts. So imagine like the Omega Supreme part where it was a grapple or it was a gun, whatever it was for Overlord. Imagine that, but having to get 6 of them. That's the problem. Last Science put the counter I would give Dale, but 5-star Mega Supreme is why would I want him over 3 5-star bots? Well, yes. But they are going to probably look at Mega Supreme, maybe improvement at some point, I said, along with the rest of the combiners, because 5-star Mega Supreme is nowhere near the same as what 5-star Ruination does. So, they should. Volcanics has put, I hate to think what they will ask for the 5-star parts in the store. Omega part is 15k shards. Yeah, exactly. Berserk's put this bot should be picked as an easy to collect combiner. Well, no, the newer content should always be easier. And I've said they should always bring out dino gates for the old ones and make them easier to obtain. And you want people to come in the game and get Volcanicus and get the older content and and get Superion and combiners like that. But the newer content shouldn't be easy to obtain. It is newer content. You should have to spend to get it, but the question is how much. Berserk's put there are so many combiners to get and they are hard to collect for new players. Yeah, listen, 100% on board with getting combiners easier by doing like Dino Gate. If you get a Dino Gate, you're probably going to get all the bots needed for a combiner. And it's quite cheap, let's be honest. It's $10. It gets people spending on the game. They put the card on. They might spend a bit more. Gets them into spending patterns. It gives them a combiner for $10. The older content. All for that. 100%. Last Science put they're getting a little bit pricey with 5-star combiners on top of meeting at least. Yeah, you got to go get the bots and that. So, I don't know actually. If you think about it, 5-star Ruination is going to cost a lot more to get than this. But then Ruination is a lot better. So, yeah. Blade 19's, but no matter what it is for the 5-star parts, you're still going to need 2,500 5-star shards. Yeah, fair point. Yeah. Cuddy Fox, I was hoping for a 5-star Magna Boss. He's the one of the strong combiners, and he's easy to get for the 4-star for new players because less parts. Fair point. Just need to bring out some of the bots. But I remember once in playtest we actually got a 5-star Beast Wars Silver Bolt. You're talking years ago though, so it's not like it's like a definitely coming out this soon or anything like that. I'm not giving anything away. We had a 5-star Beast Wars Silver Bolt. So I know he's in there, but they've always said that every bot has a 5-star version in there. Just need to press the unlock button, and it's just got an increase in stats. That's all it has, and then they have to edit and change it. So it's there, but I don't know why they've not released any bots for it yet. Because, like you said, it's a 3 combiner bot. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe they know it's quite easy to just bring 3 bots out and it's done. Maybe it's that. Berserk put, I refuse to collect 5-star bots because of the shard cost, which Janos said wouldn't happen. Hyro have ruled it. Point against Hyro. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit annoyed by that. Yanis said that the cost was getting the bots, and Hyro said no, which is a bit annoying. I was frustrated at myself. You've got a fair point, so yeah. Also, what Phil's put 5-star Ruination costs way more to get, but you are collecting a bunch of other useful 5-star bots with your investment, unlike Omega and Raiden. That's a fair point as well. Yeah, at least by getting them bots, you're getting the bots as well. Whereas this, it's a bit cheaper, but all you're getting is a part. You're not getting anything else. It's a very good point. Very good point. Last science put this. That's 15k times 6, because 15k get you an automatic 5-star combiner with Omega, but you would have to do it times 6 to get this thing. Divided by 6. I don't know what you mean by that, I don't think. John Ream, hope that's right. They should come out with new deals. All the deals this holiday suck. No combiner gate. I can't believe this is what players asked for in the survey. All recycled ideas. I actually know the reason for that. We'll talk a bit more about that, but there is a good reason for that. It's kind of with what's happening behind the scenes. Again, they don't want to do too much right now. That's going to rock the boat or do anything right now. They're just being very cautious around what's happening, because obviously they're moving over to the new developers. So that is the reason. So yeah, I agree. Black Friday was a bit crap, and the holiday season was a bit crap, and nothing new. I get it. Yeah, I kind of get your frustration, but there is a good reason, obviously. So, the difference with upgrading Ruination or Volcanicus, if you can actually use the parts in different ways, just combiner. Yeah, fair point. I don't think so though, but I think that's why they're more expensive for Ruination stuff, which is warranted. But what do you think about under the new setup? They might try quarterly balance updates instead of yearly rework on 1 or 2 bots. Do an actual balance sweep. We discussed this in playtest, and it was literally 50-50. And it was honestly split to a point where half the people were all for it and half the people were going to leave the game if it happened. Because we've never done balance changes from the start, it's very hard to introduce balance changes. And with the player base not being huge, if they were to lose a big chunk of that player base, it'd be crazy. Because the problem as well is that bots are hard to obtain and upgrade, and you got to spend money on upgrading. And imagine putting all that money into a bot for it then to be less useful in a week's time or whatever. And so they're not, I don't think they're going to do balance changes. I really don't. I don't think they're feeling it at all. Do you need 2,500 5-star shards for Ruination once you have all the 5-star bots? Yes. You need 2,500 shards just to combine them. Sadly, yes. Candyman's put the cyber store is dead as a doornail. Yes, like I said, there is a good reason for that, which we'll talk about at a later date. Cuddy Fox said, I did tell Dale about an error on the newsletter about their stream, and Dale said that he will let us know later about it when the next stream is. He does not know yet about the stream. Yeah, I imagine, again, that they're sorting a lot of things out behind. I think we should be patient right now. Listen, I am very critical of Space Ape. I'm not like a Space Ape fanboy. I'm like, oh yeah, Space Ape, like, I'm not forgiving in that sense, that I'll be quite critical if needs be. But right now, they're going through a huge change behind the scenes. It's a massive change moving the game over from Space Ape into the new the game developer, whatever you want to call it. It's a massive change. It's huge, and so they want to focus all the efforts on getting that right and talking about what they're going to be doing. And so a lot of things in the game will not go stale, but we have a lot of rinse and repeat. I imagine a lot of old events, and if it wasn't for like last year being like that anyway, then I wouldn't be as annoyed and frustrated by it. But I get it. It's been a tough few months, but it's all been around this. It's all been around this reason, and that's why a lot of things in the game happened as they are. And like I said, we can't talk too much about it until it's sorted and finished. Don't forget, they're still working for Space Ape, and still ran by Space Ape, and Space Ape still own the game for the time being. Nothing's been done yet. They've got to sort all the logistics out. So please give them a bit of patience, guys. I'm very impatient with Space Ape, but right now I am being quite patient with them for that reason. It's a massive, massive change. Balance updates keep players engaged. Look at every successful live service game. Maybe, maybe not. Would I be happy if tomorrow they nerfed Blue Streak and Leo Prime and Pipes and Minerva, and then they buffed Cybertron Jetfire and Hoffer and Drift? No. I'd be absolutely livid. I really would. I would. Because it's different than other games, because you invest a lot more money into these games to get things. They're not obtainable as much free to play. To level them costs a lot of time and money. Last science, but if you can get a mega, I think he means a part for Omega. If you can get Omega 15,000 shards, then 5 stars should be 2,500 per piece. Yeah, you're presuming that's going to be the same cost. Don't forget, Omega was 4 years ago, and 5-star shards are more apparent. I think it'd be. I think. Do I dare say it? I think 5,000 per piece. I think it'd be 10,000 shards. I think it'd be 30,000 shards for this combined 5-star. I think. I do. Berserk, they need to do a marketing promo with Hasbro. Yeah, you'd think so. They said they can probably do more adverts, things like that, because they were restricted by Space Ape and the cost of it. But now they can do that if needs be. Balance updates don't mean nerf wave. No, but you got to understand that they're gonna nerf top content that everyone's using and buff content that no one's using. So, for example, they would probably nerf the whole top row here, which they would, which probably needs balance changing, if we're honest. They would nerf the whole top row there, nerf half of these, and they would buff most of these bottom ones here. So all of a sudden, all these bots that I've got at level 50, I've got to then spend to get to level 70 to make them relevant. And all of a sudden, the game becomes a lot harder because the bots that work really well at that level of the game don't, and the game becomes a lot harder. It's not PvP. You're not sort of doing bots v bots. So if I nerf my bots, your bots are nerfed, so it still balances it. It's against a base, and so then do they balance change the base as well? It's a massive job, honestly, absolutely huge. It's a lot bigger than what you think. It'd be funny that Hasbro themselves is a new company. No, I don't think it will. No, because the Hasbro are not a gaming company. They just own the franchise, don't they? It came from the game department at Microsoft. He says they want Hasbro to be more game than before. Maybe, yeah. But I think we have a different view of the assumption in a balance update. The top box can stay as top. The focus is on lagging bots. That's not balance changes though. Balance changes is bringing everything in line, reducing the top bots and improving the bottom ones. That's what balance changes are. You can't just bring all the rubbish ones up. That's just improving old content, and you can't do that obviously because old content should always be old content, and new content should always be better than older content. So they're not just going to buff older content. They're going to buff some of the ones that are really, really poor up to a decent level and reduce that. And that's kind of what legacy bots do. They kind of buff old content. But if you're talking balance changes, they will reduce the best bots in the game. And that's what people are a bit annoyed about. So yeah. Well, that is it for this week's stream, guys. Much appreciated. But I just want to finish off with a lot of people hit me up saying, "Was I've not had the things that we give away before Christmas? A lot of the prizes, the shards, and the battle pass, side passes." Sadly, because Space are on holiday, don't forget, guys, they're not working in the office. They're not behind the scenes giving these things out. I don't give these things out. I say to you, you've won something. I contact Space Ape and go, can you give this to the players? And then they sort of give those items out. So we're just waiting for them to come back to the office next week, and you should receive them next week, hopefully. Which hopefully should come in line with the cyber passes and things like that. So if you have won a cyber pass, I wouldn't buy it next week. I'll try and get Dale to push them through very quickly so you can get the cyber pass next week. And those that won 5-star shards, hopefully next week or the week after. There's no rush for the 5-star shards. I know people want them. I get it, guys. But I think the priority is getting that side pass out so people have themselves for the next event and get it in time. That's what I'm going to be pushing for. The side passes to be given out quickly. Hopefully everything next week. But again, there's a lot of work behind the scenes that they're trying to do. So please give them a bit of time, guys. But everyone should get the content that I've said they would because they've won it. And I'm going to chase that up and leave it to me. So thanks to everyone for joining the stream. Don't forget I stream every Thursday, the usual time for about 2.5 hours. Hit a like on the stream before you leave. Don't forget to subscribe to never miss another stream or video. 2, 3, 4 videos every single week, and the stream obviously as well. Here's 2025. 7,500 subs, getting close to that 10k sub, which has always sort of been the aim, to get to 10k, get to double figures. So can we get to 10k over this year maybe? It's a big ask. I normally get about 1,500 subs a year. So if you're not subbed already, please hit that subscribe button. If you know someone getting into the game, suggest the channel and say, listen, go and check this out. It's a good channel. I hope you think it's a good channel. You're here. I hope so. And you get some value out of it as well and get some good information and tips and advice. So thanks for watching, guys. See you next week. And as always, guys, peace out.